Hello YouTube, this is Judson Game 44 here, and today I'm here to review both of the episodes of Star the Forces of Evil, the new ones. So let's begin. The first one was basically Bark Beast something. Literally, I forgot that actual name. It's very long. But basically what happens in this episode is basically Star barging into Moon's office, and she keeps saying, "Is it Bark's you that eclipsed Miss Heinous? Is Eclipse's daughter?" Moon honestly does not believe Star at all. She explains the story and Rombius, so pretty much she didn't even know about Rombius even coming. She's thinking Star's making up stories, and threw out of the room. And basically, we will go back to that episode soon with what Moon was doing. But pretty much for the rest of the episode, it's Star and River pretty much going on a hunt for this Bark Beast something. Which I actually forgot the name. But no, what really happens in this episode is basically Star's getting more and more stressed out because all these rituals, and she just wants to go back home to discuss to Moon basically about Miss Heinous about secretly being Meteora. Now, pretty much after all that, Star Butterfly goes on this big beast hunt. She gets more and more crazier looking for this beast, but pretty much what actually happens is this. Her dad's making her go crazy by redoing the ritual over twice and have to redo it again by tomorrow. And, however though, we get a shocking twist. Star start going crazy and everything. And she pretty much turns into a monster, sure, in a way. And she turns her wand into a born arrow, which it kind of reminds me of something from Old Queen's Tapestry. But besides that, let's see. Pretty much the beast arrives, which it turns out it was Ribble all wrong, which it turns out it's actually it turns out where you're basically this for a while until you pass it down to your next generation. So maybe Star will do the exact same thing to her daughter one day. But no, really, this episode was just a lot of fun. It had a few jokes in, but honestly, it felt like it did start at the end, but really, this episode was more for jokes than actually taking the story seriously. So, what basically happens? At the end, she basically is covered in mud after having a big celebration with her other family members, and she knocks on the door. And well, pretty much what happens next year for the next one is Girls' Night Out. This is basically where it goes on for the rest, where Star is getting kicked out from her own mother, Moon. And, well, you see, Moon's just basically stressed out. And what's interesting is she's going to the family book, and she asks Eclipse who was her daughter. She immediately turns the page where it's basically supposed to be the next generation, where it's Festivia, the fun. Which, just in case you don't know, I actually do follow where they actually have all the Queen's Tapestries on the DS art thing. Something it's called like that. I forgot its name. It's the website. But basically, they have all these Queen Tapestries, and Festivia the Fun was the 9th Queen, and Eclipse was basically the 20th, and Moon is basically the 30th. So, what exactly is going on with all these Queen Tapestries? Well, pretty much the Magic High Commission has something to do with this. They go to the place, they are pretty much, Moon's basically stressed out, Eclipse is actually helping her, and they do have a little fun. Eclipse starts singing as they go through the old ruins of the place of the Magic High Commission, Harky something. Literally, I'm forgetting a lot of these names, I'm not even joking. But basically, they're going through these old holes. Eclipse sings, so that way she was able to remember everything. And what pretty much happens is, they finally do get here, which Moon gets stuck through a crack in the wall because they have to go through it. It's a rat hole, actually. The spire comes down, which turns out from the commercial. Which basically what happens here is that she gets very tired because the spire's like hypnotizing her, and she stole the crown. The spire did, to dance with it. And pretty much what happens here is a few other things. Eclipse has been gone for hours, but it turns out there was a longer way to go for than she think. And Moon thought she was tricked, but turned out she was wrong. But no, seriously, what happens is, after all that, they find this pretty much where all the history of the queens are. Which basically, Eclipsa, Queen of Muni, pretty much does explain a few things. She found her old ruins, well, not ruins, I mean her scrolls, and it basically says her daughter was crowned on her christening day, which basically was festivia, which we can tell it was ripped out with red ribbon tying it all up again. Which, it's kind of weird, why did they just put Luna in? Which, I actually think there was a reason why for that. Because pretty much, Eclipsa does actually have 2 children, on the least what the writers are saying, but I don't really think they're going to put Luna in. Which, by the way, for Festivia, this is actually our second time we've seen her, because we haven't seen Festivia in the show since Season 2 when we were seeing all the tapestries. Now, besides all that, they had to escape the magic alchemist and was after them, but they didn't solve them. They had this scroll. The spire comes back trying to take the scroll. Of course, I think the spire just wanted it because it was shiny. And the crown was getting back and everything from Moon got back. So basically they're back at the castle, which pretty much they're having a conversation where pretty much Moon Butterfly is now explaining to Eclipse that her daughter might be alive. And they're in her office, and Star knocks on the door and says, "Hey." And they both say, "Hey." Which honestly, I think they both have some questions to ask to Star now. Now that pretty much Moon might be on to something. So, what exactly I think is going to be happening? I think when we do get on the trial, I think Moon is actually not going to think she's evil that much. I mean, she probably thinks she still will be evil, but she's going to be giving Moon a test. It's possible that Moon actually had the idea of the box now, and she wants the answers as well, but she's not going to just demand the High Commission, because I think she's onto something. They're onto something. Which, by the way, I don't really think the High Commission's 100% evil. Like, the way I'm seeing this is the Magic High Commission are trying to hide something about Meteor, I think. And pretty much, well, there's a lot of interesting things what's going to be happening now, I can tell. We might be getting a whole entire flashback episode, and we also might be getting a few other things. But besides all that, though, we're just going to have to wait and see what's going to be happening. So until then, this is Judgment Game 44 signing out. Until then, I'll see you all later. Bye! Potato. Tomorrow.